Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Twin Flicks, a film channel for film lovers like yourself. Our last video where we explained all about the Infinity Stones and the Infinity Gauntlet got a lot of attention. We got a lot of views from it, and a lot of people also asking us to do more Thanos Explained video. So I'm here today to do Thanos Explained. As we all know, Avengers Infinity War is the first full appearance of Thanos. He's been seen before in the films, but very briefly and sprinkled throughout the MCU films, and also mainly shown in the stinger or post-credit scenes. But who is Thanos? Where did he come from? And why is he so hell-bent on destroying half the universe using the Infinity Stones? Well, like I said at the top of this video, this episode of Twin Flicks, we're going to dig deep in explaining Thanos. Now, even though Thanos does differ between the MCU films and the comics, there is still a lot of similarities there. So just because of that, I am still going to slap on a spoiler warning. So first I'm going to explain his origins and then where that all leads us into the MCU films. But first, before we get into it, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also make sure you hit that notification bell for future videos. Alright guys, so let's break it down. So Thanos was born on Saturn's moon Titan. Thanos has always been a space-based villain belonging to a powerful genetically engineered race known as the Eternals. The Eternals are a humanoid-type race who were created by the Celestials over 1 million years ago. The Celestials who arrived on Earth, they wanted to perform genetic experiments on the human race, and they did so. The Celestials are a godlike race who have the power to mentally manipulate cosmic energy. And they use this in creating the race of the Eternals on Earth, giving them great evolutionary powers, strength, and agility. However, unlike the Celestials, the Eternals used their power for evil, corruption, and they also colonized the moon of Saturn, Titan. Thanos was born as one of the last sons of the colonists. However, Thanos was born unlike any other Eternal, as he was much bigger and monstrous and stronger in comparison to the other inhabitants. Thanos grew up very bitter and brooding, as he was an outcast to the rest of the population because of this. And through his entire life, this ate at him. He grew bitter and also had a fascination with death. As he became older, Thanos sought out personal power and increased his strength and adaptability by surgically implanting cybernetic implants into him until he was the strongest and most powerful of the Eternals. With this also came a lust for dominance. When his home world was threatened with overpopulation, Thanos sought out to save Titan. He went to the Eternal Elders with the only solution he had of saving their home, is by killing half the population of the planet. The Elders dismissed this idea as an insane solution and cast him out. Thanos instead stood by as he watched his homeworld come apart and devastated as his world nearly became uninhabitable due to overpopulation. As a result, the Eternal species was on the verge of extinction. Soon Titan crumbled and fell, leaving Thanos the only survivor. Thanos left Titan and became a world conqueror, moving throughout the universe and destroying half the planets he conquered due to his ideology of balancing the universe by destroying half of all life. Now, in his mind, he thinks he's doing the right thing, and he justifies this completely by saying that he's the savior of all civilizations. Thanos quickly became one of the most powerful and feared warlords. Thanos also gained control over the Sachari and Outriders, two of the most violent and evil beings of the universe. Thanos also gained a personal army named the Black Order that personally serves him. Thanos, now having an army under his belt, started his reign of terror across the universe, going from planet to planet, completely slaughtering half the population, including women and children. However, some of the children he took in. As we saw in Infinity War, Thanos killed off half the population of Gamora's home world. This is where he met Gamora, taking her in after killing her mother. Thanos groomed Gamora as a ruthless fighter through torture, ridicule, and training. Thanos also grew to love Gamora as his own daughter, grooming her to one day take his spot on the throne. Thanos also massacred half of the Luthamoid population, and this is where he found another orphan girl and took her in and raised her as a fighter and an assassin. This was Nebula. Thanos would constantly pin Gamora and Nebula against each other in a battle, and whenever Nebula lost to Gamora, Thanos would remove parts of her body, surgically replacing them with cybernetic parts, trying to make Nebula stronger.
As a child, my father would have Gamora and me battle one another in training. Every time my sister prevailed, my father would replace a piece of me with machinery, claiming he wanted me to be her equal.
Now, going back to the Black Order, these are other children Thanos took in from other worlds that he slaughtered, and he trained them to kill and become very powerful. This included Ebony Maw and Corvus, among others, who we saw in Infinity War. Now, Ebony Maw is one of the strongest out of the Black Order, and we saw this in Infinity War as he fought against Iron Man and Doctor Strange in New York. All he had to do was just flick his wrist, and he could devastate and kill and do anything he wanted. Now, Thanos sent his army to hunt down the stones, and he sent them all across the universe, including Earth. And we saw this in the first Avengers movie when Loki used a spear to call down the Chitauri alien civilization to destroy and massacre half the population of Earth. And now let's talk about where the Infinity Stones come into play with Thanos' story. With the destruction of Titan weighing heavily on Thanos' conscience, Thanos firmly came to believe that the universe was in danger by life depleting its resources, and that would eventually cause the destruction and the fall of the universe itself. Thanos, who previously had knowledge of the Infinity Stones, knew that the stones, being of immense power, could solve his problem. Now, I discussed this further in my Infinity Stones and Gauntlet Explain video. I'll leave the link down in the description. Now, Thanos made it his life's goal to gather all 6 stones and used his army in order to locate them. He successfully did locate at least one of the stones, the Space Stone, which he then hid inside the Tesseract, and it was capable of manipulating minds and opening doorways from one part of the universe to the other. And this is where the first film in the MCU really introduces Thanos in the Avengers. When Thanos hands the scepter over to Loki, sending him to Earth, bringing along an alien army to find the remaining 5 stones and wipe out half the population. Now, in order for Loki to use the stones, since only a celestial being is able to actually hold the stones, he put the Tesseract inside of the scepter that he gave Loki. When Loki failed and also betrayed Thanos, he grew very angry and got down off his throne and went into the room that was holding the Infinity Gauntlet. He put it on and said,
"I'll do it myself."
And now we're here with Avengers Infinity War, and that's really essentially who Thanos is, where he came from, and why he's trying to locate all the stones and wants to destroy half the population of the universe. As we also saw in Infinity War, he was able to collect all 6 stones and used the snap ability to completely alter reality and time itself, where he was able to go back to Titan in a alternate reality where he was able to transfer it into what he remembered. We saw this as he sat down and was satisfied looking at the sunset on Titan. So now, how this will all play in with Avengers 4, I honestly don't know where they're going to go. I don't know if they're going to go in the way of the comics or if they're going to go a completely different way. Alright guys, I know this video was kind of brief, but that is essentially the backstory of Thanos within the MCU films. And I want to know, guys, what are your predictions for Avengers 4? Let me know down in the comments section. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Keep an eye out for our upcoming new videos. And I got a lot I'm working on right now, and those should be up throughout the next couple weeks. Do me a big favor and hit that like button so that we can be liked. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Remember, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Be a subscriber to be entered in our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. 5 giveaways for 5 subscribers. And as always, guys, we'll see you in the future.